Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network. Good evening and welcome to Urban Lifestyle Cafe. I'm Michael, your bougie black brother, and we're here for our movie segment. And joining me, as always, is my co-host and partner, Alicia.
Hello.
And today we're finished seeing the movie It.
Two versions.
Two versions. So we went to see the movie yesterday. And we backed up and said, oh, let's see the first one to see how that one went. And so we decided to do the part one. So if you didn't know, the Stephen King version was part one and part two, which was a TV miniseries.
TV miniseries, yeah.
Which was cool. You see all the old actors and everybody on there. So it was pretty interesting to see that version as opposed to the new version of today. And Stephen King is crazy as fuck, and he's destroying all the clowns. They can't get work now because of him. So that's what it is. So we went to see it. So what was this about, Booby?
This is a scary movie for me. It was about clowns.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Scary clowns. Scary one clown. Okay.
Pennywise. It was Pennywise. So it's, as always, Stephen King always does his movies and books and things in Maine, or in the New England area, but mostly Maine. So the town of Derry had a curse on it from in the 1800s.
200 years ago, they said.
200 years ago. And what was happening was people were dying and things were going on.
Kids were dying.
Kids was dying. People were dying. People disappeared, and they was like, yo, where the hell they go? And it seemed as though, as they was tracking it, every 27 years, it sort of occurs again.
Right.
So going first with the miniseries, what was your thoughts of the miniseries? Because I kind of remembered some, but there's a lot of stuff I really didn't remember, and I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, the miniseries was different, kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think about it, back in that time, it was kind of scary.
Yeah.
You know, so we're not talking about, if you look at it now, you're like, okay, I can watch the whole thing. It ain't nothing.
Yeah, and it don't shock you or whatever.
Right.
Like that.
But we got to remember back then, it wasn't, the special effects was different.
So it's 1990.
1990, yep.
So that was, 27 years ago, right?
Yeah, sure was.
So they did it on the anniversary of the anniversary of
it.
Of it.
Yeah,
which
that's
was
cool.
Like really pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
So so I actually liked it because I think the storyline and everything kind of did okay. It did okay.
So we're talking about the first one or the second one?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay.
Because it was okay. What this one did was it showed them as adults and then turned around and they reminisced what happened as kids. Where the new one, it was just strictly children. It didn't make them as adults thinking back that they had to get together.
Well, I mean, from the first movie, not movie, but the TV version, they were trying to like give you the understanding, where the young, how they were young, and then the old. So yes, it was good.
Yeah.
So how they did it,
I thought that was kind of cool.
It was interesting how they did it.
And then they made it a two-parter.
You're right.
So what that one led you to was they thought they killed the clown or the demon or whatever it was. They thought it was. And then they let that go all the way up to the first, part one. And part two is them coming back to kill the demon or the clown again.
Right. Well, because they thought they killed them in the first one.
Right. And they said, if you ever, because they had the blood oath, if ever it comes back, we will come back and
We'll
kill
kill
them.
it. Right.
Yeah, we
Come
will
back and
kill them
kill
from
it.
that,
Right.
which
Right.
was like really interesting. Where the new movie, if you haven't seen it, you know us and you heard our podcast spoilers from the beginning. So at the end was actually, they said if it ever happens again, it will we will come back, and they had a blood oath.
Right.
So
Right.
if you remember, this one is part one and part two.
Right.
Well, but I thought the movie, the miniseries was pretty cool. It was part one and part two. I thought it was pretty good that they started off by reminiscing about the past, and the one guy who stayed in Derry saw that the killings were starting all over again.
Right.
So
Right.
he started contacting them,
Right.
and which made it like each and every person he contacted had a version of their
The
memory,
experience of
but
how
it,
dealing with
it
it.
included everybody.
Right,
So every
right.
time they're experiencing a version of what happened, it still included everybody. So the sequence of events was still pretty cool because it wasn't like I'm by myself and all I know is about this one.
Mm-hmm.
It was with the gang, with the group, the misfit groups, and they all was together, and they still had a small little issue that they rolled up
Yeah, their
into.
personal lives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
Right.
So because this was a TV series, it was pretty lighthearted. So they didn't really get too intense with things. So I'll give you an example. The Jewish kid, they didn't go too much about him being Jewish. The clown kid, he was a clown, so he was pretty much the same from both series.
Right,
They didn't
right.
go into his personal life. And he
Right.
just, in the new one, he just said, "I hate clowns." But this one, he was scared of like with scary movies, and
Right.
stuff like that.
Exactly.
But the girl, her version was a little different. We'll get into that when we go to the movie.
Yeah, she was a little bit different from both different versions
Yeah.
of the
So
movie. Yeah.
she was a little different from that. What's it? The fat boy. He was a little more stronger on this one. He was a little more assertive, not stronger.
Yeah, assertive
He was
on
a
this
little
one.
more assertive
Yeah,
on
on the TV
this, the
version,
TV
right,
version
right,
than the
right,
other
right.
one.
Right.
The other, the hypochondriac, other little boy that always thought he was sick and everything. They didn't go into the extreme version of being a hypochondriac, like the new version was.
Right.
He was a sickly little boy, but that was okay. So you kind of dealt with it. Even the asshole boys that were picking on them in school, there were assholes here, but when you modernize that, they were more intimidating in the new movie than just being bullies.
But
in
that's
this one.
because,
Because it's a TV series.
right. Well, again, we still talking about how times have changed where, there was just certain things they couldn't do in movies.
Well, yes, they could, because they call that black boy nigga.
Yeah, they did call him, but I mean,
They didn't do it on the new one.
no, they didn't, because you was kind of waiting for them to do it on the new one.
Yeah.
But no, he didn't do it on the new
So
one.
there was some of the things that they felt they could do, but they couldn't do.
But that's what I told you. So that's why it's like, back then, yeah, it was blatant. Then it was like
No,
they
it
were
was it was on TV then. 'Cause
Right,
remember,
and-
they had it on the Jeffersons and all of these
right,
other
exactly.
shows.
But
in the
now,
early
like I
90s.
said,
it's
this
kind of
is-
taboo. You better
Yeah,
not say that.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
black people will come on there and it's like,
And
no,
kill you.
got these people. We're gonna protest.
We
they
will
said
kill
nigger.
you.
They said nigger. And and so on and so forth. But the characters was a little lighthearted. They showed the reaction of the little boy. Was it Billy and his brother Georgie? They
Yeah,
showed
Georgie,
the reaction
yeah.
of his parents a little more.
Yeah.
Whereby they showed a snippet of it and then they went away doing the new version. But they went through the whole sequence of events and it sped up pretty quickly. It seems on this. On the miniseries. You notice that?
That
I don't think they didn't go into too much detail of all of the characters like they did in the movie.
okay, so yes, in the old version, the 1990 version, what they try to do is find them as adults and have them dream or
Yeah, like
go back.
dreamscape.
Yeah, they go back and reminisce about what their experience was.
Right.
And then, that basically was that. And then they had them all get together and kill it.
Yeah.
But you still had that part where they had to come back and realize what really happened because they totally had forgot about it.
Right.
Which was really because there was more children in the 1990 version than there was with the one that's current.
What do you mean?
Remember, there was 5 of them. Plus the girl makes 6.
It was 7 of them.
It was 7 of them on both of them?
Yeah. Remember, there's the Jewish boy. Then it was the hypochondriac boy. Then it was the little fat boy. Then it was
Georgie,
clown boy. Yeah. Then it was
5. And plus the girl makes 6.
Yeah, but then it was the black boy.
Okay, so there was the black boy was 7. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It was 7.
I forgot about that one.
No, I did. So at first I was like, wait a minute, who is that boy?
Yeah, because
and then it was like, oh, that's the Jewish boy.
Yeah, but there's like it was like almost 2 Jewish boys because there was
no. There was the hypochondriac boy that was always sick that his mother was like giving him
that one.
Placebos.
Right.
Him? Then it was the Jewish boy who was afraid of the picture on the wall.
Right.
Remember? But they didn't get into him on this one.
Because
he noticed,
right? Because he's the one that killed himself, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you didn't see the first one, the Jewish boy killed himself because he was afraid of fucking everything any damn way.
Right.
So because he didn't really want to be involved in none of that. So you saw that he was afraid.
Yeah, because he was always waiting at the door.
Yeah, because he didn't want to go in. He didn't want to be involved.
That's
in
the one
who
he got bit in the face.
Yeah, by that damn painting, that crazy twisted paint.
Right.
I thought that was amazing too.
Right.
Before we get into the movie, but I thought again.
So so the thing is that you're right. They in the original version, they didn't really do a good job with
establishing the young characters.
They really didn't.
But to your point, I think they wanted you to meet the adults because I think part 2 is more about the adults.
Right.
So they wanted to set the adults up, see them as kids, then the second one would be all about the adults.
Right.
Where the movie it's all about the kids. And when they come back, that's all you got to deal with. Mm-hmm. You don't have to have them reminisce. You can have them reminisce on the next part.
Right.
Which was, either way, I was fine with. So I really looking at it again. It's okay. The movie's still okay. It wasn't like, oh, this is so boring. It was okay. It was good. It was a good movie.
It was good at the time,
and it was good
for the 1990 because it was. I mean, I was looking at the ratings for it for now, and they gave it bad ratings. I'm like, dude, wait a minute. The movie was 1990. What did you expect for a 1990 movie?
No, but it was good for its time. Good at that time,
right? For that time, but I mean, I think it should have got better ratings because in 1990,
right?
That's basically what you got for a movie.
But it was a TV movie,
right?
And that's the worst part.
Right,
it wasn't
It
wasn't a cinematic movie. So if it was in the theaters, then you would have expected more.
Exactly.
But it wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, you couldn't rate that on that same scale.
That's what I was saying. That's why I was like, why would you? You can't. You really can't.
It wouldn't be fair.
It's not.
It just wouldn't be fair. So looking at it, it was a really good movie.
Right.
I mean, a good miniseries, and we didn't want to see the second one because I'll wait until I see the
second version of it when it comes out, and then we come back and look for it. Yeah.
There's no need to say, oh, so that's how it ends. I really want to feel like bothering with that.
Right.
Anywho, so that brings us to the current version.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we went through this current version, what made this one different is they went through developing the characters and what they were afraid of, what their life was like, and what they were together, and what led them to being together and needing to be together.
Right.
They did a great job all the way through. And on top of that, the fucking clown was scary as fuck.
Yes, the clown.
Throughout the damn movie. That was a crazy ass clown. This one, he was kind of like a scary clown. He was kind of like, scary. He's trying to be funny or friendly clown that's evil. That's how the old version was. This one, soon as you saw him, you said, this is a creepy fucking clown. Oh my God.
Yes, he was.
He would jump out and he would just do crazy shit.
He was the worst.
He was
the worst.
So it wasn't gross scary, but it was shockingly. That's what I was telling Alicia when we got out. He was shockingly scary. So this movie was more shocking than gross scary. Like he wasn't ripping people's throats open and blood spurting or anything. It was a lot of blood, but it wasn't the gory-ish type. But it was shockingly gory. So, and then to your point too, baby, the special effects was kind of lame back then, but now you can see them more realistic.
Right, because you look at it back then, they really didn't have special effects.
They didn't have a. Think about the 1990s. They still had special effects that could have been pretty, like Friday the 13th.
Right, like they bending the boy in half and pulling him through the tunnel. Not the tunnel, but the pipes.
The ducts.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And then his hand coming through the what is it?
The drain.
Yeah, the drain.
And then it opens up like a Tim Burton movie. It'll go, and then he comes out of there like that. Whereby when the clown was in the refrigerator and he came out of the refrigerator, did you see that? Remember that? When he was in the house and you see his arm and behind him and he was all twisted up and then he was like click, click, click. Then he was clicking. I was like, whoa, look at this fucking crazy clown.
Hey, listen now, we going to the second
movie. I'm sorry. So anyway, so I'll just preface this that it was a really good movie. So they had the version that they made was a really good movie. I was like,
I didn't want to go because I hate scary movies. And I was like, no, I got to go with Michael to see this because the ratings was too goddamn good for this movie. I mean, everybody, the critics as well as the people going to the movie was saying the shit was good. And so I have to say I hate scary movies, but the shit was good. It was very good.
It was very good.
It was good. It was good. It did not disappoint. I was trying to keep my eyes open. I didn't want to waste my $5, but But the movie was damn good.
Yep.
It was like, so let's just say this. If you had a choice with the kids from the old 1992 to the one right now, which kids would you rather be around?
So the kids of the new, you see these kids now. So before they were a little more clean cut. They tried not to do certain things. This version is really the kids that you would know were doing things like that. Like from the beginning, the little fat boy was the new fat boy. He wouldn't be in front of there with confidence saying, this is who I am. He was an adorable little fat boy who showed up, had his little science project and his bike.
But see, remember, they kind of changed it from the 99.
But you didn't know why those guys was chasing him in the new one.
In the new one.
Yeah. You didn't know why they was chasing him in the new version. Remember, when she came out, the little girl came out of the back and she was like, oh, they're already gone. Don't worry about them.
Because they were chasing him because they were bullies.
No. They were chasing him based on the first one was they were teasing him in the class and he was in front of this, so they got mad at him because they sent him to the principal office. So he was mad because the teacher sent him to the principal office, so he wanted to take it out on him. But they didn't show that.
You don't know if that's how they set it up?
That's how they set up the first one. So
well,
why
of course they said, like, okay, so on the first one, the black boy was the historian.
Yeah.
On the second one, the white fat boy was the historian.
Yeah, because...
So they changed that up.
Yeah.
But, it's kind of obvious that, the reason why they chased the boy was because they were bullies. It don't have to be that he was being harassed in the class. Those boys were harassing all the nerdy people.
So why they was harassing the girl?
Well, they said that in the beginning, why they did that on the second one. It's because they just harassed her because they said she was a little whore.
Okay.
And they didn't like her.
Okay. But they just didn't like her because she was a whore.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, you don't know any of this, but since some things that you know and some things you assume, you're gonna say, well, it's obviously not that. But they took most of it from the book, and they took most of it from the other movie. So that's how I looked at it.
So why they harass the little girl in the first movie?
In the first movie,
Yeah, in the 1990.
they didn't harass her.
But
She
they
was
har-
just with the grit. She was
but
with
they
the crew.
harassed her on the second one.
Yeah. So if you read the book, there's all different versions of how they wanted to present that. So the thing is, they harassed her. Remember, the other little girls were talking about her like she was trash. Remember when they bumped past her on the old version? It's like, yeah, I don't know why she be there. The trash need to be where they need to be. She just was trash to them. But they harassed her because she was with the nerds. So they just changed the versions of what they wanted to do.
Okay.
So when they went on to that, so they took it from there. That was interesting that they changed the historian thing, because remember the black boy was homeschooled. Because remember they call him, hey, homeschool. So the black boy was homeschooled, and that's where the redneck white boys was like, stay out of my town. They didn't want him around because obviously in Derry there wasn't too many black people, and there's not too many in Maine. So the black people wasn't really there. So you turn around and they flipped it from the first version and had him homeschool, and then they went into his family that died in a fire, so he was afraid of fire and everything like that. In this version, he had no fear other than when they opened the book up and saw the clown. And neither did the Jewish boy when he was going for his bar mitzvah, but he was always passing by that painting of that distorted woman. So he was afraid of that picture, but they never got into it under the first version too. But the way they put these small things in there, it was kind of like, whoa. And then that was afraid of germs, there was a dead leprosy type person that was walking out that he was afraid of because he didn't want the germs, but they was coming after him because of that. So they gave reasoning behind that. And then the other version of the blood in the bathroom, the special effects there covered the whole goddamn bathroom, which was like really fucking crazy. And then when Billy saw his brother George, he was in the basement, and little Georgie was there, and that fucking clown was in the water and was coming after his ass. But he only saw the blood coming out of the book, and his parents wasn't able to see the blood. Only the kids was able to see that.
Right, because he was after only the kids. So
Yeah, he was going after the kids, to your point. But the new movie gave you substance for each character, which I thought was really good. They had their own version of fear that was established. Once the clown showed up on his 27 years, he wanted to put fear in all the children, and as he did that, then that's what he kept them in fear. So when he was able to grab them, he had them. But the history on the first one was pretty vague. They just said there was 200 years ago. There was a fire at the Derry mill, and then
right,
there was this,
Easter egg hunt or something
then
like
the Easter
that.
egg hunt.
Yeah.
But they glossed over it. Where the little fat boy on the new one, he was doing damn research. He had the shit all over his walls.
Yeah, because he said, "Oh, I love going to the library."
Yeah, they said because you have to. I mean, but he said so. That was really cool that he did the research from there. But then they actually came together. So I think the new one had you captivated by the characters as opposed to just introducing them and hurrying up to get to the clown.
Right.
You didn't the new movie led to the clown.
Right.
It wasn't let's hurry up and get to the clown. It led to the clown saying, we gotta stop this guy. The TV series was, okay, now that we know that, let's go get him.
Right. You really didn't know why the kids wanted to go out to the clown, whereas you kind of knew in the
In
new
the new
version.
one.
you knew exactly why they have to go after the
Yeah,
clown.
absolutely.
I mean that was, and I mean I love how they changed the way the bullies were. You know, the bullies were totally different. You know, the police he killed his father because the clown made him do it
Yeah.
because the what was crazy was on the TV it was talking.
Oh, that was the second time. Did you notice
Yeah, I
that?
noticed that
It
when
was
when the
twice.
girl Betsy, is it her name Betsy? I think it was. She walked by her room where her father was sitting, and it was on the TV.
Yep.
And she basically ignored it.
Yep.
And so then the next time you seen it was when
The little bully boy.
the bully boy was gonna kill his father.
No, because remember the balloon was on his mailbox.
Yes.
And in the mailbox,
It had the knife.
It
in
had the knife.
It found the knife that he lost.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it put it in
My
the mailbox.
father's gonna kill me. Like you were bullying you. I mean, his father was really like
Yeah, and then the
hardcore
little
as that.
girl's father was molesting her. And so when she killed him, it was kind of like, oh, your ass, you're not going to keep doing this. And it was that opportunity at that time to get rid of him. How the clown took her because he wanted her to be afraid, and he just took her after she killed her father and everything from that.
Well, did she kill her father or she just knocked his ass out?
No, remember he was laying on the floor and blood was coming out of his head.
Yeah.
He never got up.
Okay. I mean, I don't. They never said if he killed the father or not.
No, they said, now that your father's gone, where are you going? She said, well, I'm going to live with my aunt.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So, she killed his ass. But that was just interesting there. And it showed they didn't show on this one that all the kids were there. You remember all the kids on the new one, they were all floating around.
Like I said, the special effects was different, babe.
Yeah, that was really cool though.
Yeah, it was cool because he had like a mountain of
Toys and different
everything
stuff
that
from
he
the
took from people.
yeah,
from
but
the
the
adults.
bodies of the children were floating all
Right,
around
right.
there, and he's like, "Come down, we all float." But in the old version, it was because he was in the sewer, so you would figure he meant floating in the water, in the sewage
Right.
water. But
Well-
this was actual floating in the air. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
So it was really, really. It was this. It was really, really good. Like you said, the storyline was really good. I love the fact that the young boy did know his history because he actually his fear was the fire for the black boy.
Yeah, the black boy. Yeah,
Right. But then he
Because
found
his
out that
parents died
right,
in there.
right. Then he found out that that damn bully was the one that I think set the fire on their house. He said the bully said something to him about the
No,
fire.
yeah, he said something. I didn't catch it though.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
Don't quote me.
Yeah, so
was-
and I think that's when he got mad at him and he attacked him.
Yeah. And
So-
then because remember when he was going down the well and he was supposed to try to kill him with the damn sheep gun. and
Right,
shit.
right.
But he couldn't get him on that.
Yeah, he only had one bullet.
He only had one because the other ones fell down in the well. But yeah, so it everything was a little more intense.
Mm-hmm.
The bullies was a little more intense. Their fears was a lot more intense, per each one. So there was a whole lot of different intensities that was there. So I enjoyed it. So I understand why it was rated really well. Not sure if it aligned with the book as close as it normally is or isn't, but they did a really good job. I think they
Stephen
did a good
King's
job.
books are forever long. They don't never seem to end their storylines.
And he probably put way more detail in the book about the characters.
Remember, you have
that
the book
kinda like-
upstairs.
yeah.
How many
You
pages?
see how
is
big
it?
that goddamn
It's like
book is?
2,000 pages.
Exactly. So it's a huge fucking book. Yeah, but,
It was like 2,000 pages.
so I read it and I just don't remember because you always remember the visuals that you see. There's a couple of them that I read with Stephen King that are so vivid that I definitely remember the book more than I remember the movie because he had one called Langoliers and they made a TV series of it and it was terrible. It was just awful. They did the concept right, but the special effects was so bad it made it look comical. But a couple of these other ones, remember Cujo and Carrie and all of those, they did really really well, and
Back in the day.
back then. But they make a new version now. The realism of the special effects will take it to another level.
They tried to do Carrie several times, baby.
So they did Carrie as a series, right? Oh no,
Yeah,
they
it
did
was-
Carrie another version of it. I
They
think.
did a movie. I think they did like some kind of TV series about it when she was in high school.
Yeah, some crazy shit. So yeah, but this one they did a really good job. So worth it, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, somebody was on Facebook, said, "Should I go see it?" I'm like, "Yeah, you need to go see it."
So
It was
worth
very, very good. I mean, I don't think kids should go see it because they're gonna have nightmares forever.
Especially with, I mean, I'm telling you, that damn clown was shocking.
I'm sorry, I guess.
It was shocking. Because I was sitting there, and when I said, I was like, this goddamn clown. I was like, look at what he's, oh man, he's just jumping out of nowhere. And you remember when the little boy went down in the basement in the book thing, and then the headless man came downstairs, and he walked around the corner, and that damn clown jumped out of nowhere. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was at the library.
Yeah, I was like, at the
Yeah,
library. Yeah.
he was picking up the eggs, and the eggs the eggs were from the
The Easter egg. Huh?
right from the article.
But the headless man
Yeah.
had his head, I think.
He was
that
running
was in
on
the
through
tree,
there.
remember?
Yeah,
Because they looked at it in the book, and it was
he
the head in the tree.
Yeah, it was head. The head was in the tree. It sure was.
But then the body came downstairs.
Yep.
And it was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
I know it was real. It was crazy. Oh my goodness! When they, like you said, when they were in the house, he was trying to separate them.
He was yeah. So he did some crazy stuff with them in the house too. And their imagination was like all over the place.
And he said, "You can't be afraid. Your fear is what
He
got them."
feeds on their fear.
Yeah, he was feeding on their fear. And at the end, they were not afraid of him, and you seen
He
him.
was beating the shit out of him.
You afraid of us now?
Yep.
So that was like, it was very good.
So, well worth it. Well worth it. So, if you want to see it, see it. Be prepared. It's definitely good storyline. The acting for the children was really, really good. We compared it to the Stranger Things ensemble. So this little ensemble was really good too. So all the kids did play a really good role.
The old
for
and the new.
Yep. So it was really, really good. So you wouldn't be disappointed. Yeah, kids can see it, but you don't want them to be, jumping up at night.
I'm telling you right now, if they
It's gonna
see it,
be
they're gonna
pretty
hate
shocking.
clowns for the rest of their damn life.
I don't like clowns anyway.
Sorry. I mean,
Creepy
I didn't have a
fucks.
problem with clowns, but after seeing this movie,
Always had a problem with clowns.
I will.
And remember, he was trapped in a room with all them damn clowns too.
Yeah, he was. He touched it like, okay, it's a clown. It's not a real clown.
It's not a real clown.
He said, I hate clowns, and I'm like, I can see why the poor clowns.
He was like, man, I can't even get a job now.
They
destroyed it. Like
poor
Rotten
clowns.
Tomatoes, you destroyed my movie.
It was one of them things. Like I said, I don't want to be around clowns after this movie. Seriously.
Anyway,
The
sorry,
first-
clowns.
Because I think of his mouth. Wait for the
Yeah,
nose.
and those them teeth come out, and he's like ripping. Then he ripped that little Georgie's arm off. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
poor Georgie.
Yeah, he did. So
Then he shot
the
his brother in
movie.
the head.
So overall, what's the number you give the movie? Come on.
So I like it. I don't think it's high level, but I will give it a strong 8 because I would like to see it again.
Really?
Yeah, I would want to see it again. I liked it.
You know what? I have to agree with you on that one.
Really?
Yeah, I would see it again because there were some pieces that I missed.
Yep.
So I would give it. You're gonna be surprised on this one.
What's that?
A 9.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of high for you, though.
Yeah, because I hate scary movies. So I gotta give. this
No,
one a
so you would give Get Out lower than you would this?
You didn't score Get Out.
I know.
Get Out, I would give the same thing.
Nah, I don't compare those two.
The
Get
reason
Out-
why I would do
Get Out is a lot more creative.
it is
A lot more surprising
and I
that
was,
I
and the
didn't
reason
think
why I
of.
gave it that because I would see it again, and because it wasn't. It was more of an educational thing for Get Out. More so you learn something from it.
So it's like it had a social tone to it.
Right.
It's telling you about society and everything.
Right now, when we talk about it, because it was scary for me, but it was really good for me. That I would actually, I want to see it again because I think I missed some things.
Well, if you wouldn't have seen the first one, would you have thought you missed anything?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, because it was so much going on. You know,
okay.
It was like, okay, remember, and I went to the bathroom, and I was kind of pissed. Okay, so, and then the fact that, you know, there was just some of the scary stuff I missed. I was like, I would like to see it again, and the whole thing straight through.
What with that clown jumping out at every other fucking
coming out the
was like
coming out the refrigerator.
That was so good. Or when that damn painting lady that was hiding around.
Yes.
That shit was like
the little boy
crazy.
broke his arm and they like put it back together. Yeah. Then you had he was separate. He kept trying when he got the girl and she went up and you know he got her stuck up in the air.
Yeah. And like he hypnotized her with the lights in his mouth.
Then you had the bully boy who did he kill his other friend?
Yeah, he killed his other friend.
Okay, I didn't see that part. That's the part I did.
No, they was down. Remember, he went into the sewers. And
the other guy was with him. The other boy was with him.
They didn't show him.
Okay. So
they didn't show that.
Right. So again, there were just little things that, you know, I was like, I need to, you know, I would love to see. Listen, you know, I don't do scary movies like that, but
But it was shocking. It wasn't scary. It was really, it'll shock you. You'd be like, oh, whoa, what the fuck? Whoa.
That was scary.
It was a lot of that.
Yeah, it was a lot of scary. So, I mean, I'm kind of like, now, like you said, it probably was, that book was very hot back then. That was, everybody was reading it.
It was a bestseller.
Yeah, it was
a bestseller
for a long time.
Yep.
So, like I said, for me, I got to see it again.
I got you.
Yeah.
I said I'll stick with an 8 because I liked it. Thought they did a good job. I love when you do a good job and you establish the characters. Special effects wasn't cheesy. It was just enough. The guy who played the clown he was just scary as
Michael.
He was like, you look at him.
Okay, so the clown in the clown in the first TV series looked better than the clown in the movie.
No.
Yes, he did, because that clown looked really nice. As the clown in the movie he was ugly.
So wait a minute. So you saying he looks better as in a nicer clown?
Right.
No. So that's not what the purpose of him.
No, but that was the first movie. That's what he looked like.
So he looked at nicer.
I mean, TV series.
Then he turned mean.
Right, he did.
But the one in the
movie
looked at
from the beginning.
Soon as you saw him.
Yes.
So you look at that clown as like, why are you even talking to this fucking crazy clown?
You see how much? Yes.
Yeah. So as soon as Georgie saw him, I would have been like, yo, this is a crazy looking fucking clown.
Yes.
Because he looked, and you saw the water, like his drizzle fucking slob coming out of his mouth.
Oh my God. I was like,
look at this crazy fucking clown.
I was like, my goodness, look at it.
Little boy, get the fuck away from him.
He looked crazy from the get-go.
Exactly.
But when you look at the one from the TV series,
you kind of like, hey, clown.
Yes. He looked like a
regular clown.
Yes.
Friendly clown.
Yes.
Then he looked crazy.
Yes.
So to me back then, that's why I liked it, because it was kind of like, yeah, this man, look at that guy. Whoa, the clown got crazy all of a sudden.
Yeah, but
this one
in the movie,
this dude looked crazy as soon as you saw him.
Yes,
I was like, this fucking clown is mad.
Yeah, that's why I was like, there's a difference in the clown how they look.
But I love that about it though. I loved it about it because you knew something was wrong with this fucking clown.
Yeah, you did.
And he ripped Georgie's arm off, and then his arm got real long and pulled his ass right into the sewer and shit. And I was like, poor Georgie. Mm-hmm.
But there's just a lot of little things that the first movie, the first part of the TV series, is kind of where like the fat boy sat into in the tube. It's not the tube. In the drain. Yeah, and you waiting for him to come and get him.
Yeah, you was waiting for him to. Yeah, and you could have sworn you heard something in the back.
Right.
You wasn't really sure.
I mean, it was like they could have done better with that.
Yeah,
to give you the fear factor.
Yeah,
and they didn't really do it.
They didn't do it. Yeah, they had a good opportunity to do that.
So I mean, just like I said, there's just certain things that you can say with the first one TV series.
1990.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, with 1990, you kind of like you kind of knew, but you didn't know.
Yeah.
So they, like I said, they did a good job. If we're back in '99 when we were growing up and we seen it, hell yeah, we'd have been scared as hell.
So I enjoyed it back then. That's why I didn't have any problem saying I want to see it, again. And I was glad to see it again because it was worth seeing again. And you would say, oh, okay, that's not a problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you go from there. So check this out. During that same year, The Exorcist 3 was out. Tremors, which was stupid. Child's Play 2. Night of the Living Dead. Tales from the Crypt. Leatherface. And there's a bunch of other bullshit. But they had some crazy fucking movies in 1990. And that's not even counting the TV series. Okay. So these were in the movies.
Right.
So, and Misery too. So he
had... Don't bring back that one.
So that was uncomfortable. That was like,
that was like
how fucking uncomfortable
back
that was.
Then. That was one of the best movies.
She won an award for that.
Yes, she did. And it wasn't like no kind of special effects. She was just a crazy
ass bitch. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like, what the?
That
fuck?
was we watched that over and over and over again.
No, I read that book too.
You did.
So that's why I love the way the movie wound up to be, because when I read the book, it was very close to the way the book was.
But we watched it too many times. We can still watch it now, and
so
that
Kathy
shit still.
Bates,
yeah,
she
Kathy
really
Bates
stood out on that.
Yeah,
and that was really cool.
she was crazy in that one. She was crazy. Yeah. She was crazy.
But anywho, it very, very good.
Yes,
very good. I have it a 9. Alicia has a 9.
You have it at 8.
Yeah, I have it at 8.
Yeah, you have it 8. I have it at 9. And I was saying it was very good. It was, and like I said, I hate scary movies, but that was probably one of the best ones out there.
One of the better ones.
Yeah, out there. And you said who was the ones that you said something house?
Oh, I think it's Grindhouse, Bumhouse.
Yeah, I think you said it was Bumhouse. I think you said Bumhouse. You said they've been making those.
That studio has been doing
really good scary movies, you said, coming out of there.
Yep, coming out of there. That's one of the better studios that's doing really creative. Because remember, they got that new movie coming out. It's like a horror Groundhog Day. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, where she kept going back.
Dying.
Yeah, she kept dying. She said, "You got to find your killer.
Find your killer
before you you can go back to the way you were or your life."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that was crazy. That was I don't want to see it, but
I wouldn't mind seeing it, but that's not one of the top on my list type shit.
Right, right.
So, but yeah, so it's done really well. This one was done really well. Blumhouse. It's Blumhouse Productions.
Okay.
So BLUM House. Blumhouse. So I really think they're doing a lot of good production. They did Paranormal Activity, Insidious. A lot of people like that. I didn't really want to see that. The Purge, first one was really good. Split. They did Split. Remember we saw that one. The one with the guy, M. Night Shyamalan, when that guy was kidnapping those girls and he had split personalities.
Yes. Now that shit was crazy.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, that was really good.
And considering it was M. Night, that was
we talk about him. We talk bad about him.
Yeah. Which you should.
And we talk really bad about him. His ears should be ringing off his head the way we be talking about him.
Like, that motherfucker
I don't even know why
are they giving him any kind of goddamn...
Exactly.
I was like,
he's the worst. He did what? He did one
hang him.
Yeah, he did one movie, and after that,
No, he did a couple.
2, 3?
He did the first one with Bruce Willis.
Right.
And then he did the other one with Bruce Willis, where he was like a hero that couldn't be hurt.
With Samuel L. Jackson.
You were Samuel L. Jackson, and that
Right.
was good.
That was number
And
2.
then the other one was Signs with the racist Jew guy who hates the Jews. Mel Gibson. Signs. That was good.
Okay.
The ending was fucked up because the alien was scared of water. Really? But the whole movie leading to that was really, really good. Everything else was just kind of really, come on, man. Really?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can throw them all away.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I didn't want to go see that one.
Which one?
The one you talked about with the guy with all the personalities.
Oh, no, but
Because
I heard
when
so much about it.
You said, babe, we got to go see it because it was good. Really? M. Night? No. And he's like, damn, it was good. Kind of crazy. Okay, so did he came back from the dead for this one? But we don't know.
Right? Yep. So, he had The Visit was fucking stupid. Sixth Sense and Unbreakable and Signs. Those were his best movies. Everything else. And then Split. Now you can say Split is like one of the other ones. But he had The Happening, which I thought was really dumb, with Wahlberger on that. The Last Airbender. He ruined that whole series right there by putting white people in a minority TV series. The Village. I thought it was a good concept, but he just did it bad. Remember?
Yeah, I remember The Village.
They was in a park, and they thought they was the last people alive.
Yeah,
And they was monsters, but they really wasn't monsters. There was people trying to keep them there. He did After Earth, which was like really fucking stupid. That was with what's the name and his son. Anyway, getting way off subject. So it really good movie. Get it, see it, enjoy it.
Go see it in the movies.
Yeah, it is worth it.
It is really worth it.
Seeing.
Yeah,
it's worth your cash.
Yeah, it is.
Go see it.
If I hate scary movies and I like this one, you'll definitely need to go see it.
Sure. BougieBlackBrother.com, Bougie Black Bro, Instagram, as well as IG. Get us on iTunes. Subscribe. Leave comments. Rate us. I've seen a couple out there. Continue on. I love the comments. I like to go back. Just say hello. Thank you. I get a lot more on Instagram, but go to iTunes. It helps. Check us out.
Yes. Just go to iTunes, like us, put a comment in there, please.
Yep. Find Black Woman.
Yes.
Find Black Woman IG and Twitter and Coffee Woman in Tech. Mm-hmm. Check it out. We'll be on there as well. We got a couple of tech series coming up, especially with the new iPhone out. So look out for that one as well. Anything, darling?
No, everything's great.
So thanks for stopping by, Urban
Lifestyle
Cafe. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.